I wanted to come on tonight and address what is happening in the coming weeks here in all over the world, and it is holiday food frenzy 101 is hitting us hard. So that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm going to share some plans with you. I'm going to share some tips with you, and stick around to the end because I'm going to share some exciting news about something that we have working up for you guys, and wanting to share that with you coming up here pretty soon. So I did make some notes to keep myself on track. So I am going to get started. The reason why I think this is such an important topic, and so do Mel and Tina, is that each year, you know, we come to the close of a year, even more so with 2020 COVID craziness. I think people are holding on to a few extra pounds than they normally would. And for us in our community, we're perimenopausal, we're menopausal women, we're people over 30 fighting that dreaded belly fat that's just kind of creeping up on us, and looking for ways to help support us with that. Packed on COVID stuff is just crazy, and it's important to know that there are a few tips, there are a few strategies to help you navigate that better. And what my holiday season used to look like and what this time of the year used to look and feel like for me is different than what I now feel. And so we wanted to share. Tina and Mel also know this because we've learned it and we live it, and we want to give you some power, some feeling of not hopelessness, I guess, if you want to say that, like, oh great, here we go, ending another year heavier than what I started, and being frustrated with that. So please know that there are ways that you can make the best of this situation. And the reason why I think it's important is that you know, holidays are stressful enough as it is. I think with all the things that are going on, with all of the ways that we women especially look for making it nice for our family, making it nice for people in our community or at our churches or wherever it is that we're celebrating, a lot of times we don't remember to put ourselves at the top of our priority list. And you know what they say about you need to have you can't pour from an empty cup. So there are ways for us to keep strong inside, put ourselves first, and we will better be able to enjoy the holidays and taking care of people. And after I learned these tips, my holidays are much less stressful because I feel better inside, because I know I'm taking better care of myself, and then I have more energy to give, but I also have more energy to enjoy. And I think for a lot of women especially, we get to the end of the holiday season and think, well, that was fun, that was exciting, I prepared something nice for the people I love, but I really feel exhausted and I feel kind of ick now because I've overindulged, and that is something that we want to help you prevent. So what is the plan? How can we not become victim to the holidays and just think like we don't have any power here? So the most important thing is to create a plan. Yes, because what doesn't get measured, you don't get to see results. You can't keep track of how does that saying go? What gets measured improves. That's the way it's supposed to be said. So while we pay attention to what we're doing, the improvements can happen, or just the out of control stuff won't happen. And that's what we're trying to avoid right now. And you know that our tower of power, our tower of nutrition here in our community is our Zen lifestyle. And when we live the Zen lifestyle, when we know the supplements, when we know the essential supplements to help us or help our bodies function at maximum capacity, then that doesn't just get put to the wayside during the holidays, but it's our strength still to help us navigate and stay strong and still be able to enjoy everything at the same time. So I want to make sure that I'm going to map out these Zen supplements and the Zen products that we use to help us. And you know, we do have our whole PFC way of eating, and that's awesome and amazing all year round. But how I want to share with you how they can even just help you individually through these holidays is very important. So even if you're not ready to embrace the full plan, follow, you know, the guides and the things that we've talked about previously, or what you've been educated on with the entry video to our groups, is that individually, these are little tips or hacks, if you want to put it, whatever word serves you best. They can help you through the holidays and really keep yourself from losing control. So I'm going to start with the, of course, the general term is, or the base of everything is eating the PFC balanced meals. So even if you can just get one meal in every day, breakfast, just start your day off right with a good balanced breakfast, and you're ready to have a win out of the belt, out under your belt, off and running in the day, and you'll still feel like, oh, I did something great for myself. I feel so much better. And that is a great way to start. Which, by the way, we just last week finished our breakfast challenge, and it was a lot of fun. And we even had one person tell us that, you know, they didn't used to be a breakfast eater, and now she eats the PFC balanced meal every morning, and she's not starving and hangry at lunchtime. She has more energy and pep throughout her morning, and she doesn't even miss coffee anymore, which I can't make any claims for that, but it is nice to know that just by making that one little change, she has really made a big difference in her day and how she experiences that whole morning time up until lunchtime, till she gets used to get her first food in. So that would be very important to do that, because what you're doing is you're balancing your blood sugars first thing in the morning, and that gives you just a more balanced head, more level thinking, and I always use the word brighter, because honestly, that is the best adjective that I can come up with, how I feel and how my life is impacted by knowing how to keep my blood sugars balanced. The next product that is really a key and a good thing to include is our Zen Shape. Now, the Zen Shape is a supplement that you take just before eating your meals, and what it does is it's actually a fat metabolizer, and it helps stop the cravings. So especially during the holidays, this would be just something easy to add into what you're doing and get this help from who doesn't need a fat metabolizer. So this is a super product. That would be something that's totally recommended. The next one is Zen Prime, which, you know, we've talked about before too. My light is so bright, I hope you can see the names. Zen Prime, anyway, that's what this one is. This is our detox supplement. So you can imagine after you've had a meal of overindulging or an evening with adult beverages, whatever, these are even more important and can help you with the digestive enzyme blend, shed all that ickiness that gets stuck in our bodies, get that out as soon as possible so you can get back to feeling better. So super, super good to add to what we're doing during the holidays, a good detox thing. And the next one is our Zenfit. So it comes in a box like that. It's just a bunch of sachets. These are so easy. There's a powder in here. You mix it with water. I never leave home without making sure these are in my purse, especially during the holidays, because what happens, and I know this year's going to be a little different because, you know, COVID shopping is going to be a little different. Regardless, this is always in my purse because this is my go-to savior so that I don't get stuck somewhere unexpected and start to get hungry. These are branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, and this is a great blend of essential. So they're all there. And what it does is it not only helps build and protect your lean muscle. Remember, with the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism runs, the harder it has to work. So it's going to be burning more fat. But the little hack of it, which I love especially, is that it cuts off the hunger. It buys you a solid half an hour to get back home or get to a grocery store or get somewhere where you can make a good healthy choice. So you're not grabbing the latest gingerbread at Starbucks or a bag of M&Ms or whatever you can get quickly. So Zenfit, branched chain amino acids, plus they're really lovely with a little sweetness. So for people looking for a way to help curb their sweet tooth, if you are that person, this is a great way to do it too. We have those in 2 different flavors. So the branched chain amino acids are awesome. And yeah, so easy to keep with you, and you just mix it with water. There's no excuse not to be ready with that at any time. And the other great little powder sachet that's really easy to carry around with us now is our Nevo. So Nevo it actually stands for Nutrition, Energy, Vitality for Optimal Benefits. So this is actually a dietary supplement, but it gives you energy. So you can call it an energy drink, a healthy energy drink. It's an all-natural caffeine source, and it's loaded with vitamins and minerals and super blend, including vitamins B12 and chromium. Now, B12 we know is good for energy and mood. So who doesn't need a little extra boost in the mood during the stressful holiday times? But also with the chromium in there, that's been known to be an appetite suppressant and helping with curb hunger. So this is a really good choice for instead of coffee, instead of all those nasty, I think they're carbonated, I don't know, those over-the-counter energy drinks that everybody grabs at the what are they called, gas stations. So yeah, but if you could see the whole list of all the vitamins and nutrients in there, this is something that will help keep your vitamins up high and help with, you know, keeping you healthy during the winter time also. So we have this in 2 different flavors now too. So if you're looking for a good energy boost in the afternoon, when a lot of times we hit that slump, choose that over one of those nasty drinks, and you're going to be doing yourself a lot of favors just because of the nutrition in there also. And then the last product, of course, is our Zen Fuse protein shake. So total foundation of the meal portion of what Zen can provide. It's a balanced meal right there. All you have to do is add water, and you're never without a good balanced meal. So it's an easy way to fill in those gaps between your food. You know, have your balanced breakfast in the morning, put a shake in there in the mid-morning or the afternoon, whenever. And it's a great way to know that you're doing yourself a favor by keeping your blood sugars balanced and keeping the protein high. A lot of times I think those gap fillers that we would have, or at least me personally, used to be something that didn't have that much protein in it because I just didn't know better. Now I know, and that's always making sure I have that in between. So the different protein shakes, what makes ours different is that it has a long-acting protein blend in it too, so it keeps you satisfied for longer. And it is a wonderful blend with probiotics in there also, so lots of good health benefits. And I didn't want to get down to the sciencey stuff so much because I know you've seen that in the other video, but it is really just a phenomenal protein shake. And there are different ways you can use it during the holidays. So number one, I did mention the importance of eating a balanced breakfast. If you're not a breakfast eater, have a shake. It's so easy to do. And then right out of the get-go, you're starting your day off right and with a good pep in your step, and know that you have a good balanced breakfast right there right away. And we have lots of recipes that we've shared about different things to do with the protein shake to make it into different breakfast items, dessert items, lots of different things you can do with it, but know that the foundation is solid, and that is key. So our Fuse shake is just a great grab and go. It's a no fuss meal, and it will help with weight loss because it's all the right balance and it's not high in calories. So it's a really good choice. So that is our Tower of Nutrition that I would totally recommend as a way to help you enjoy the holidays, have your treats, and because you have a plan. To back up with having a plan, the first thing is you're looking at the holidays and get out your calendar and say, okay, this is where we're going to be if you're in the US for Thanksgiving, if you're somewhere else in the world, but you want to celebrate the United States Thanksgiving. We have that coming up on the 26th, excuse me. And then, you know, whatever's going on in December based on your faith or what your family traditions are. Maybe there is even some birthdays in there. You all know mine's coming up in December. I'm still walking. But you want to identify what are the days that I am going to go off plan. What are the days that I'm just going to give myself permission to totally enjoy, totally indulge, and not worry about so much what I'm doing. If you take that step to make a plan, then fill in the other days with a strong, solid choice of essential supplements, good nutrition, and doing the best that you can. And that way you'll know that at the end of all of this, come celebrate New Year's Eve, you will have a good strategy and you'll have been able to enjoy the times that you said, yes, those were the days that I was going to go off plan, or that was the meal I was going to go off plan. And the other days I'm going to do as best I can and better perhaps than I have been doing. And that way you'll end up really strong at the end of the year. So staying committed to a regular physical activity program is also very important, you know, and even walking counts. I'm very happy about that because that's what I've been doing. You also want to stay committed to your water regimen. We all know how important that is. If you haven't already, commit to eating that balanced breakfast every morning, and also commit to doses of self-care. I'm going to repeat that because I know you are not doing as best you can with the self-care. So commit to a daily dose of self-care. That could be meditation, it could be inspiration, it can be moments of solitude, it can be taking some time to pamper yourself. I have this really great mask that I love to wear at nighttime. And on the nights that I do it, I honestly look forward to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to put that mask on tonight. And it's just a little bit of self-care. It doesn't take that much time because I'm sleeping during most of it, but I get to wake up and feel like, so I get two bonuses. The day of, I'm looking forward to it. And the next day I'm feeling great because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do my mask. And I love that. So, and sleep itself, ladies. Sleep is so important, and I'm going to go back and rewatch this video because I need that message just as much as you do. But that is the time where our bodies are healing, they're repairing, they're rejuvenating, and there are different things you can do in your bedroom at nighttime. Listen to certain things to help even maximize that sleep time, rejuvenation, and that self-care that we need. So think about areas and think about what you need to improve on, and know that those are some really important choices and simple things to do and new habits to form so that you don't forget yourself during the holidays and you don't put yourself to the bottom of the list. So I wanted to offer some tips now of the days when you say that you are going to go and enjoy the holidays, you're going to go enjoy a family meal, a gathering, or host it yourself. These are some hacks for you. I don't want to say hacks because they sound like they're cheating, And we're not cheating, we're just learning to navigate, and we're learning, giving ourselves permission to enjoy meals, enjoy food, enjoy life, most importantly, enjoy the people that we're with, making new memories, and enjoying the traditions that come with the holidays. So one tip would be before, about a half an hour or an hour before your party or that you're going to or hosting, or if it's the, sitting down to start your big meal of the day, if that's where you're going to be having, an off plan kind of a thing, then you want to drink one of the Zen Fuse shakes about a half an hour before, and take a shake if you have that as well, because that will help you start off with somewhat satisfied. Also, your blood sugars are going to be balanced, so you're not going to go crazy with the meal portions. You're going to be able to just enjoy the food that your body's taking in, and you're also going to metabolize it better than if you, a lot of times people will say, well, I'm going to skip breakfast and lunch because we're going to have a big Thanksgiving dinner at 2 o'clock and I don't want to eat too much today. Well, you're really doing yourself a discredit, because by the time your body's still starving from not having anything all day, you're not going to want to maybe, but you probably will have too much. You're going to grab carbs. You're going to overload on the carbs, because that's just the way we do it when we're in that situation, and your blood sugar is going to spike. Your body's not going to process the food in the best way possible. So you want to make sure you enter that meal time and that food frenzy time with in a good a situation as you can be. So have your shake ahead of time, and then you won't be ravenous that way. And regarding alcohol, so if you're going to be enjoying some adult beverages, I have a couple tips there. Number one is, whenever your starting time is, start with a glass of water, start with some sparkling water, have some special non-alcoholic, no sugar drink available to you, and have that be your first cocktail of the evening or day, whatever time frame it is, and then stagger it so that every other drink you have, say normally I would have maybe 3 glasses of wine over the time of, showing up at 3 o'clock somewhere, leaving at 10, and over the time it would be several glasses in a row. If I start with water, then have a glass of wine, then have another water, then have a half a glass of wine or something, it just reduces the alcohol intake. It also dilutes it. So doing yourself a favor that way. And the other thing is, you can also mix some sparkling water, and there's some that comes in lots of different fun flavors, with your wine or with whatever your alcohol choice is, to kind of dilute that as well, so that you're not getting the full strength of the alcohol that way. So that would be my recommendation there. The other thing is, when you do sit down and fill your plate, if you have the wherewithal, eat in this order. First your protein, then your fat, then your carb. If you're not that worried about it, don't get too hung up on this, but optimally, that helps your body process the food that you're taking in the best way. So our body just normally starts breaking down the carbohydrates first, and if you're indulging in those first, it's just going to cause your blood sugar to spike. So if you have your protein first, your metabolism is geared up and it will handle the carbohydrates better, and you won't have such a fluctuation in your blood sugar. So that is a tip. The other thing is, pay attention, of course, to your portion sizes. Enjoy your grandma's favorite stuffing recipe. Enjoy the green bean casserole or the gravy, whatever it is. Just watch your portions and know, I know better now. I'm doing better. These taste amazing. Savor every bite. Pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth, but don't think that you have to go back for seconds and thirds because it's there. Because you know what? It will be there again, and you will have the opportunity to have it again, and just enjoy when you're having what's in front of you. The other thing is, if you're going to be having dessert, let me back up a second too. if there are the free vegetables, if we want to say the simple carbohydrates, the green veggies, the salad, that kind of thing, make sure you get a fair portion of those too. If more so those than the sweet potatoes and the casseroles and the rich, gooey, yummy things in those portions. You want to make sure that you don't bypass the free things that have more fiber and more water and help fill you up too, so that you afterwards don't feel as sluggish and don't feel like, oh gosh, I just did it again. So don't pass up on those simple carbohydrates. If you're going to be enjoying dessert, I recommend having it as close to possible right after your meal, just like at a restaurant. Think of you're barely finished with your dinner and the waiter or waitress comes over like, are you ready for dessert? And you're always like, oh no, I've had too much. Well, kind of do it that way. Have a smaller portion of your dinner. Have your dessert right after. Number one, the portion will be smaller because, yeah, you are a little bit more satisfied. But the other thing is, too, your body will just have had proteins, other carbohydrates, and some fat, so it's going to process the usually fat and carb heavy desserts. Your body will just metabolize it better, so you're going to do less damage if you want to think of it that way. So that would be a tip there. The other thing is, now if there's a time spread out, maybe you're invited to somebody's house or you're going to have your own cookie party in the middle of the afternoon, just grab a little protein and eat that ahead of time so that you have, like we said, protein helps your body metabolize those carbs a little better. So have that along with it. The other thing is there are lots of protein bars out there that taste like dessert. They are super yummy. And if you find some of those that you find it kind of fall into a treat category for you flavor wise, and you can stock up on a few of those, maybe when you're with the kids or the grandkids or a time where everybody else is having dessert and you're feeling like, oh, it would be nice to have something, but I really don't want to have those cookies or a piece of pie right now because I know better. Have one of those protein bars and you will still be able to participate at some level with, having a dessert time, and it's something special to you. For me, it's the Power Crunch bars. They are light, they are wafery, they come in amazing flavors, and those are often my little go-to dessert stash when other people in my household are having ice cream or something like that. So the other thing is if there's an appetizer spread, or maybe you just have a full buffet going on for your holiday, I recommend getting your plate, being careful with your choices, load it up one time. If it's a paper plate, go put it in the garbage. If it's a real plate, go put it in the sink. Don't go back for more. Don't keep filling it up. Just because the food's there doesn't mean you have to keep going back for it. And with that said, too, when the food is being prepared, be careful of what the nibbling does. Be careful of what you're just snacking on mindlessly, kind of putting into your mouth. I know that I used to really be bad with this. Cookie dough tastes yummy. Just stop all that, because that just adds up without you even thinking about it. And before you even sit down to have the meal, or before you pull the hot cookies out of the oven and can enjoy them with your family, you've already had 2 or 3 portions. So be careful with that. And if you can put a few comments in your head, if you're finding yourself maybe with your willpower being a little bit stretched and you want to remind yourself what it is that you're doing, some things that I will tell myself are, I remember what that tastes like. And that was really yummy and I enjoyed. And then I stop for a second and I think about, if it's one of my mom's baking recipes, I remember some things in my childhood or when I used to have those when I was younger. So I kind of get the enjoyment of the item, of the dessert, without having to fully indulge in consuming the calories. So that helps me kind of buy some time or make it a smaller portion so that when I am eating it, I'm fully enjoying it. The other thing is you can say, you know what, that's going to be here tomorrow. That candy cane, that's going to be here tomorrow. If I still want it that bad, I'll have it tomorrow. You can also say, that's really awesome, and I can't wait to have that on Thanksgiving, or I can't wait to have that on Christmas morning. Whatever the designated day is that you're going to be allowing yourself to more fully enjoy everything that's there, just help yourself remember that that's coming up and you don't have to have it today because it's not going away forever. you have another opportunity on the other day to have it. And remind yourself, I'm doing this for me. I don't want to forget about me. This is my holiday too, and I deserve to be taken care of. And I'm going to do the best to take care of me because I'm in charge of taking care of me. So when you say that to yourself, that is also very important and empowering, and will hopefully give you the strength to bypass whatever it is that is looking very tempting. And the other thing is, you can say, I'm making new memories this year. I want to make new memories this year. I don't want to feel sluggish. I don't want to feel exhausted during the holidays. I want to, and I'm going to start crying, I want to have the best holiday possible for me, for my family, and there are ways that you can do that. So bottom line is, it's not about what your scale in the bathroom says. This is about how you feel inside, how you feel about yourself, and how you physically feel, and especially how you physically feel during the holidays. That's what we're talking about right now. And how you physically feel after you have overindulged, or when you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm exhausted and I don't want to do this again. I don't want my holidays to be this way again. There are some simple things that you can do to create new habits. Please know that Tina, Mel, and I are here. We know how good it feels to not wake up thinking, oh God, I overindulged again, or my pants don't fit, or I feel so exhausted, or I'm beating myself up again because I made bad choices yesterday, or an hour ago, or whatever the time frame is. We know that it can be different because we learned, and we are here to help you learn and help empower you to make choices for yourself so that finishing up 2020, the crazy year that it's been, can be brighter for you and your family. So please know that we are here. Let us help you not forget about yourself this year. And let us help you make the most of your holiday by adding some new habits to set yourself up for making new traditions and new memories. And now we know that you all have a common goal of losing weight. We also know that there are individual stories that fall behind all this in different areas that people need to work on. It doesn't matter. We're all different in that regard. Know that Tina, Mel, and I are here to help with individual strategies, to help you with targeted solutions. And so all you have to do is to reach out to one of us, and we will help get you set up in the right path. If it's you need some shape in your purse because you're eating lunch out all the time, because you're somebody who works and outside of the home and you have to go to business meetings all the time, we can help you with this simple thing right here. If you're somebody who's trying to get off a coffee or trying to get off a Red Bull or whatever other nasty drinks there are out there, we can help you with just a few little things, little changes that you can start to implement that will give you power through the holidays. And I'd like to remind you that we do have an email. It's not a campaign. We have an email that we like to reach out to you guys every now and then with. Look tomorrow, because we're going to be sending you 3 recipes that can hopefully be added to your list of how to enjoy these holidays. And there's going to be one for a cocktail, there's going to be one for a tasty treat, and we're going to include one for a nice appetizer. So check your email inbox for that, and please tune back in for a short, I'm sorry this went so long, tune back in for a short message on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to announce to you the gift that we're going to be putting together to help you not forget about yourself this year. Don't forget about yourself during these holidays. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.